Nithyanandam, we are now moving on to the glimpses of the glorious past on the 10th of May. So, we are now moving on to the year 2004. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visited the sacred rock at Pavalakundra in Tiruvannamalai, where he experienced the purpose of his birth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's first spiritual experience happened when he was still only a child. During the Purnima in Tiruvannamalai, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was sitting on a coral rock. He was playfully experimenting with the simple technique of trying to find the source of his thoughts. As he was doing this, first the understanding happened to him that he is not solid as he always thought. Body and mind are not solid. Secondly, he slowly observed that his eyes had closed because of the deep silence. Next, he noticed that something opened up inside him, which is beyond his two eyes. The moment that happened, he was not only able to see what was in front of him, but also all around him in a 360-degree vision. It was not just seeing, he also felt that everything was a part of him. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism felt that the idea of a boundary or a border was completely broken down, and he could see everything around him, including all the eight directions above and below, as alive as one can feel inside their body. That same life, that same presence he experienced with everything around him. He intensely felt that he was present in everything. The next, we are now looking at the 10th of May 2006. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the fourth Acharya training in the United States near Los Angeles, California. Since the very first day that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism overtook his mission, he has been consistently organizing, training, and inspiring everyone, and thus ultimately setting the solid foundations for the revival of the Kailasa nation. Below are some pictures taken on day 8 of this convention. We are now moving on to the 10th of May 2007. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave deep insights into the center of our being, where we are all enlightened. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that Shiva gave 112 meditation techniques to provide different methods of helping individuals jump into their center and to fall in tune with the bliss consciousness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that these methods help to sharpen our awareness to take the jump. When we train our awareness to catch the neutral space where unclutching happens. Through the sharpened awareness, we can stay centered in our Atma consciousness before any sufferings start in our inner space. Let us now see the glimpse of the Shiva Sutras.
Tomorrow, Mahadeva talks about that technique only. Tomorrow he is giving you very powerful technique on inner healing. Anybody who carries so many wounds inside, don't miss tomorrow's discourse. He is giving you the technique to heal all problems which you carry from your childhood. People come and complain to me. I had very abusive childhood, childhood, disturbed past. Here Mahadeva is giving you the technique to heal the disturbed past. Let us see how he is helping us to fall into that fourth state, samadhi, from these three states. when you want to do this technique, actually every night you can do this technique. It does not need a separate time. All of you are going to fall asleep every day. Every day you are going to fall asleep. It means every day you are going to jump from waking state to dream state or deep sleep state. Every day. That jumping movement itself, you can use it for enlightenment. If you try just for 1 month, I can promise at least one day you will have that click. It doesn't take more than 20-30 days. Maximum 20-30 days only. Every possibility, you can have the glimpse within 20 days. Within 20 days. First thing, switch off the light and get ready. Lie down completely. Rest in a complete relaxed way. Wait in a very passive way. Don't try to sleep. You can't actually try to sleep. Anyway, if you try to sleep, you will only postpone sleeping. You will only postpone sleeping. People come and tell me, Swamiji, I have sleeping disorder, I can't sleep. See, this country, so much of exploitation goes on in the name of sleeping disorder. No, really. No, really. Understand, first thing, if you are not falling asleep, your body does not need. That is why you are not falling asleep. You being taught that you need 8 hours sleep as a compulsory or 6 hours sleep, that's a first crime. Your body is much more intelligent than your doctors. Understand? No, really. Really. If your body does not fall asleep at particular time, it does not need. Then you may ask, no, working hours, it tries to fall asleep. Just take vacation for a few months, nothing wrong. Your body is much more important than your job. Now really I tell you, the best way to come out of sleeping disorders, don't decide to have continuously go on pills, no. Sleeping pills won't help you. Take 1 week or 1 month vacation, sleep whenever you feel like, wake up when you feel like. Within 20-30 days your body will fall in rhythm. That's the best way. I have healed thousands of people. Understand? When I talk, when I say all these things, I mean and I am responsible. And I am responsible. Understand? Your body is not income source for me. I have no vested interest. That is why I am telling you the truth as it is. You can't expect truth from the people for whom your body is an income source. Your body or mind is an income source for them. How can you expect truth from them? Forget about it. Let me be very clear. When I make these statements, I am responsible. In last 4 years of my public life, I have touched personally 1.2 million seekers. People who are initiated. If you see the people who are wearing the mala, if you are wearing the mala, you are among that 1.2 million. 1.2 million people around the world have been initiated. And at least 100,000 I have personally healed. With my experience, let me tell you, just decide, if you have a sleeping disorder, decide to have 1 month vacation. Don't even bother to cook. Just get your food from somewhere. Eat when you feel like eating. Sleep completely when you feel like sleeping. Your body will come back to its natural rhythm. You have disturbed your body's rhythm. That is why you are suffering with sleeping disorders. Sleeping pills won't cure you. That will only create one more addiction. One more addiction. If you don't feel like falling asleep, don't sleep, over. When you feel like sleeping, just sleep, over. If you are sleeping only 4 hours per day, be happy. Be happy, nothing wrong. But you are made to believe if you don't sleep this many hours, you will have this problem, this and that. I tell you, it's a lie taught to you. Your unconscious is programmed. Let me tell you some basic business secrets. No, I'm really giving you some basic business secrets. In the religion, before making you as a disciple, the so-called religious system first makes you feel guilty for something. Only if you feel guilty, you will obey. Now that is the basic truth. You will be made to feel guilt for something for which you are not responsible. Once you feel the guilt, you can be exploited. All system which exploits you teaches you something which is not natural to you. First thing, they will put that thought or the belief into your head. Into your head. Once you believe that logically, now you are ready to be exploited. Basic thing, you need this many hours of sleep is a lie taught to you. Your body is intelligent enough to decide how many hours sleep it needs and when it wants to sleep. In traditional yogic system, we have two things called Chandramana and Sauramana. Chandramana means people who will feel alive late night and who can't remain awake in the early morning. All modern day young kids. They are all Chandramanis. And another one thing, Sauramana. Sauramanis will sleep early. But after 8 o'clock in the night, they can't. They will say bye, goodbye. But early morning, 3 o'clock, they will be out. But these fools always, they force the kids also to do the same thing. They put little guilt also. Don't remain awake too late and don't sleep in the early morning. Nothing wrong. I tell you, Chandramani means people who remain late night, jumping and singing and dancing, who sleep early morning will be very intelligent. They will be very intelligent. Chandramanis will be very sharp. Shiva is basically Chandramani. Shiva is basically Chandramani. See, be very clear. Don't have guilt about your sleeping time and all those things. You having a guilt about your sleeping time is the first problem. Then you start believing you have a sleeping disorder. You are now ready to be exploited by the bed number, sleep number. I was shocked. What all nonsense goes on? No, really. Some sleep number, some this bed, that bed, this pill, that pill, and so many nonsense. Now, in my whole life, I never had a problem. See, when I stretch my hand, eating. When I stretch my leg, sleeping. Over. Now, that is what I know as life. When you stretch your hand, sleeping, eating. When you stretch your leg, sleeping. Over. Instead of making the whole thing such a simple, you are taught to believe you have some disorder, only then you will be ready to be exploited. Understand? If you don't fall asleep, perfectly all right, just remain awake, lie down. Don't try to sleep. You trying to sleep will never help you. That's a first mistake. That is a first mistake. Never believe you have some disorder. Let you save yourself. Let you save yourself. These are all few basic important truths. How to protect yourself. No, really. How to protect yourself? Consciously, so much of damage is done to people by teaching lies, by teaching wrong things, by telling, by forcing the idea that you are abnormal. That is the first sin. When you start believing unconsciously you have a sleeping disorder, then you will connect all your problems with that. All your problems with that. And anything, you will start connecting to that. See, once you believe that you have some Ragu dosha, Kedu dosha or Sanigraha, even your small accident or somebody coming and hitting your car, you will blame that Shani, poor fellow. He did not pay to that the other person and tell, hey, go and hit his car. Some accident also, you will blame that poor guy who is sitting somewhere who is not even aware of what is happening with you. The God becomes a dustbin for you. Anything which you don't want, dump it on his head. That's a problem. Anyhow, use this technique. This will be a very powerful technique. Not only to heal your sleeping disorders, it can take you beyond sleep. It can take you beyond sleep. Let me tell you, from my experience, hardly I sleep 2 to 3 hours. If you come and live around me, you will understand. I rest my body 2 to 3 hours. Not only just me, 150 of my swamis don't sleep more than 4 hours per day. I have 150 of my swamis who are from 14 to 80. From 14 to 80, I have swamis. 88, sorry, not even 80, 88. They don't sleep more than 4 hours. And it is just because I give them the clear understanding whether they are Chandramani or Sauramani, whether they are sun oriented or moon oriented. All you need to understand is which one makes you feel comfortable, sun oriented or moon oriented. Just adjust your routine. Over.
We are now looking at the 10th of May 2008. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the second day of the Nithyananda Convention in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. The Paramavatara of Paramashiva, at the end of the convention, attended tirelessly to each and every individual attending the convention. He enriched, blessed, and healed couples and elders with love, compassion, and deep listening, after which each person experienced deep connection to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and felt that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was there only for them. Let us now look at the 10th of May 2011, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras.
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis sitting with us around the world at this moment, at least in 254 places through NTV and 6 places through video conferencing, having Diksha, and in 90 cities in 14 countries. I welcome you all
with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples studying with us around the world. The city is having Nayana with two-way video conferencing at San Jose, Ohio, Seattle, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Vancouver. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Let's enter into today's subject. Today we are entering into the next chapter in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra called Kaivalya Pada. Patanjali describes after and side effects and the very signs of Kaivalya. Please understand. The Kaivalya, Samadhis, side effects and after effects are always positive, good, right. But you need to know the side effects and after effects of Kaivalya so that you can be in rest. Kaivalya, the very word is a beautiful word. Kevala means oneness, nothing but, nothing else. The pure aloneness, not loneliness. Please understand. When you are one but still having the craving for the other, it is loneliness. But when you are one and complete by your existence, it is aloneness. The pure aloneness, all oneness is aloneness. All oneness is aloneness. When you feel still the need of something else, somebody else. See, naturally when you need something, you take a loan. When you are in the need of loneness, you are in loneliness. Kevala means the pure aloneness. The signs of pure aloneness. What constitutes aloneness? What are the side effects and after effects of aloneness? And unnecessary myths surrounded around the aloneness. Everything is clearly presented in the form of a beautiful, reproducible science by Patanjali. Power of Kevala, Kaivalya. Let me enter into the sutras. The 4th chapter, 1st verse. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, 163rd Sutra, subject, the science of miracles. In the first sutra itself, Patanjali talks beautifully, step by step, the science of miracles. Get the book. Janma Aushadihi Mantra Tapa Samadhicha Siddhaya Janma Aushadi Mantra Tapa Samadhicha Siddhaya. Swami Vivekananda translates the sutra as the siddhis or powers are attained by birth, chemical means, power of words, mortification or concentration. Swami Prabhupada translates as the psychic powers may be obtained either by birth or by means of drugs or by power of words or by the practice of austerities or by concentration. Siddhis, Swami Satchidananda translates as siddhis are born practices performed in previous births or by herbs, mantra repetition, asceticism or by samadhi. Bhagavan Osho translates this as the powers are revealed at birth, are acquired through drugs, repeating sacred words, austerities or samadhi. I humbly disagree with all the translations. With all my due respects to all the great masters, I wanted to repeat, I humbly disagree with all the translations. Unfortunately, all these translations are done by the masters after British era, where much of this science and knowledge about cities are lost. And I am not boasting or egoistic. I just wanted to present the facts in front of you. I had the fortune of sitting at the feet of few people who had the complete knowledge of all dimensions of cities. So I'll take up the sutra, break word by word. First I'll explain why I differ. Next I'll say what really I wanted to express. Third, is really Patanjali wanted my interpretation, what I am expressing, what I am trying to convey. So I will do this step by step, because this one sutra, understood properly, opens thousands of doors, not just for miracle powers or psychic powers. It opens the door for very enlightenment itself. I call enlightenment as complete when extraordinary powers and experiences expresses through you. Please understand, there are hundreds and hundreds of masters saying siddhis are not required to be expressed along with enlightenment. I do accept, but at least from my experience and an analysis, thoroughly, there is no master who is truly enlightened and through whom siddhis are not expressed. You cannot hide enlightenment in a single body. Understand, it is not like some ornament or a weapon. You can have it in your case. No. You can't possess it. That possesses you. You do not create context. Context creates you. I'll explain the keywords in the sutra. Keywords are Janma, Aushadhi, Mantra, Tapa, Samadhi, Siddhi. But through medicines or drugs, mantra, sound, tapaha, austerity, samadhi, no equivalent, but we can say enlightenment. Siddhi. Again, I call this word as attainment.
We are now moving on to the 10th of May 2012. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted a press meeting with the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam. The Madhurayadinam preserved the blueprint of this enlightenment ecosystem through the sacred lineage of pontiffs. The chosen emissaries of Paramashiva and Parashakti, the pontiffs, are direct embodiments of the cosmos. With the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being the 293rd pontiff of the Madhurayadinam, Kailasa's national anthem begins with a verse that addresses the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as Kailasonnata Dvadashanta Shamala Pitharuda. Later that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism received many other VIPs who came to receive his blessings and to reconfirm their loyalty to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Madhurayadinam. The next we see the 10th of May 2013. In that day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presented the great question of why. Why do we need to meditate? Why is Kriya necessary? Why do our Sangha Acharyas teach the four principles? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that there is no definitive answer to the why of the universe. Any why must be answered by the questioners themselves. As we understand deeper spiritual mysteries and the answer becomes self-evident, we grasp it without explanation. This answer is different for each individual, and as we increase in our level of maturity and awareness, even the same answer evolves and changes. Let us now see the various happenings of the 10th of May 2013.
Today in Nithyananda TV News, morning satsang with Paramahamsa Nithyananda and medical camp in Tiruvannamalai. Nithyanandam and welcome to Nithyananda TV News for Friday, May 10th, 2013. During the Purnatma Ratao, the season of completion leading up to Guru Purnima, July 22nd. Now for today's top stories. Morning Satsang with Paramahamsa Nithyananda. In today's morning Satsang, Swamiji presents the great question of why. Why do we need to meditate? Why is Kriya necessary? Why do our Sangha Acharyas teach the four principles? Swamiji tells there is no definitive answer to the why of the universe, and why must be answered by the questioners themselves. As we understand deeper spiritual mysteries, the answer becomes self-evident. We grasp it without explanation. This answer is different for each individual, and as we increase in our level of maturity and awareness, even the same answer evolves and changes.
Person who is matured enough to ask why, but unable to grasp the answer, he enters into the realm of human beings. He can be considered as animal human. Little human, little animal. Person who is able to ask why, and able to grasp the answer for that why, becomes human being. He is free from suffering. He will be filled in joy forever. The being who is able to ask why, grasp the answer for the why, and discovers the answer for his own why, discovers his own answer for his own why, is a Jivan Mukta. So why this great why? Till you understand why this great why will be in your consciousness as why this great why. Understand? Till you are able to grasp why this great why, your inner space will continue to have this one question, why this great why? And why this great why will not disappear till you find out why this great why.
Medical camp in Tiruvannamalai. Every month a free medical camp is being conducted from Tiruvannamalai Ashram. Last month, on the 28th of April, the medical camp saw 150 people attending for blood pressure checking and sugar testing. That's all for Nithyananda TV News for now. Thank you for joining us, and let us end our news with a bliss dose from the Avatar. When you have found your own answer for why, you are a Jivan Mukti. We'll see you next time on Nithyananda TV News. Nithyanandam.
We are now moving on to the 10th of May 2014. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Varanasi Inner Awakening Day 9 and the Meenakshi Tirkalyanam. During that day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded about what makes an enlightened being. He told us that enlightenment is difficult if you put your energy in too many directions and easy if you focus your energy in one direction. He said, if you know my DNA, you will become what I am. And the key is the decision to be big, bigger than anything you know, which cannot be accomplished by making the other smaller or by war. Let us see the various happenings of the 10th of May 2014.
Organizations embodies Kashi is Vishwanath Temple, Annapurni Temple and Kashi Vidvat Parishad. Head of all the three are here today to welcome all of us to Varanasi. The oldest deity, Kashi Vishwanatha, the temple head is here. The oldest temple, Annapurna Mandir, the Mahanji is here. And oldest educating organization, Kashi Vidvat Parishad, representatives here. All of them are here to receive us, welcome us in Varanasi. Already Mahanji has organized and I have received the formal invitation from the head of the Kashi Vishwanath temple. We are all going to have one more Rudrabhishekam and darshan in Kashi Vishwanath temple and Annapurni temple. This city, most fascinating. You just go on and on and on. I can say only one word. This is the physical manifestation and representation of the whole Hinduism, Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Anything you call as Hinduism belongs to this city. Whether Moksha Daini Ganga or Kala Bhairava, Mahadeva Vishwanatha or Annapurani, all the gods known to the world as Hindu gods are present here, are available here, are living here. I can be very sure Varanasi has more Shivalingas than the population of Varanasi.
The world famous temple Annapurna Mandir, His Holiness Sri Rameshwar Puriji, Annapurna Trust is one of the largest trust in India which is serving thousands of people food free every day. The representative from Kashi Vidvat Parishad, Dr. Ram Narayan Dubey, is also here.
I would like to introduce Arun Kumar Mishra, who is the chief of Kashi Vishwanath Temple.
I really wanted to come and it's a miracle that I'm here. I convinced all my dad, grandparents, mom single-handedly this time. It was amazing, the Shivoham process. I saw this black dot coming from my third eye and then I told Swamiji about it in the question and answer session and he said it's my third eye is getting awakened and I'll be able to blindfold it in 2 days time.
Shivoham, my God, the so, what can I do? I'm not able to put it in the word, the experience, we had it so much. The evening, the darshan as a Kalabhairavas, he came and be with us. I mean, he was in everybody being, he filled with everybody being. I was so emotional because the way we had the darshan and the experience, unbelievable.
We now move on to the 10th of May 2015. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began the Kathopanishad revelations from the land of Varanasi. Throughout the sessions of the Indian Awakening Convention, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism invokes the presence of Mahadeva, Yamadharma, to reveal the to reveal the naked truth as it is without any propositions and suppositions, to let the whole universe realize the reality. With the Shanti Mantra peace invocation, he introduced this third Upanishad as the Vedic book of death, where Yamadharma becomes the most compassionate master to Nachiketa. Speaking from his own that experience at Manikarnika Ghat, he authenticated the truth of Kathopanishad, where Yamadharma is the natural flow and natural law of existence. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that we should stare into the eyes of death, dive into death, for that is the secret to revive death as a compassionate teacher, God, and not its terrorized form when it comes the time of death. We now move on to the year 2016. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Day 7 of the Living Shuddhadvaitam Convention into Ujjainadhinam as part of the most auspicious and holiest event of Kumbh Mela. During the presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further revealed the science of levitation and expanded on the psychological, physiological, and physical levitation.
Please understand. The next initiation is levitation. Psychological levitation and physiological levitation. These two are the powers related to Sahasrara. Before the initiation, you have to finish the samskara dahana kriya. Means you have to burn all your pain patterns. Listen carefully. I am explaining the principle. When you breathe with thinking, means your breathing is happening, thinking is also happening. That is called prana. Your breathing is happening, thinking is not happening. Like in the deep sleep, the night, deep sleep, your breathing will happen, but thinking is not happening. That is called samana. Now, even while you are awake, I am going to infuse samana in you. Listen carefully. While you are breathing and thinking together, the process is called prana. While you are breathing but not thinking, example is the midnight deep sleep, when you don't even have a dream. You are breathing, but you are not thinking. That process is called samana. Now, I am going to infuse samana in you even while you are awake. While you are awake. So naturally what will happen? Your whole psychology will become so light, you will feel like it is flowing, it is floating on the air. When the psychological levitation happens, automatically physiological levitation starts happening. Means the body will start jumping. Then the physical levitation, it will raise and be there in the air for quite a few minutes. Understand? This is a 3-step. Psychological levitation, feeling so much of lightness. You will feel as if your whole being is floating. Second, physiological levitation means your intra organs will become light and it will start jumping like a equivalent to your weight. The samana will get filled in you. So it will jump, but in few seconds you will fall back. It will jump and you will fall back. That is physiological levitation. Then comes physical, means more than your physical weight, the samana energy will stay in you. So for that many seconds or minutes, you will be able to be in the air. And don't think I cannot levitate. No. Anyhow, you are not going to. I'm going to make it. So you just be free from your idea of whether you can or not. If you can sit in Padmasana, that will be great. If you can't, listen carefully. If you can't sit in Padmasana, sit in Ardha Padmasana. If you sit in this posture, you will not doubt whether you are lifting or it is doing it by itself. In this posture, you can never lift yourself. Even normally, you cannot lift yourself. In this, surely you can't lift yourself. In this, any movement happens, it is only because of Kundalini. If you can't do both, it's okay, sit in the chair. I'll make the whole chair levitate. Listen carefully. You have two activity happening, inhaling and exhaling. You put your awareness and effort only on inhaling, automatically body will exhale. Let
We now move on to the year 2017. On this day, the group of Inner Awakening participants were very blessed to have the opportunity to visit the birthplace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Tiruvannamalai, India. Tiruvannamalai Adhinam hosted a variety of events today on the auspicious occasion of Chitra Purnami celebrations. Thousands had gathered for the free Kalpataru class happening in Tamil. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also initiated everyone gathered into Shiva Diksha, a sacred ritual in which individuals are initiated into a mantra and taught how to worship Sadashiva as per the Shaivagamas. Balasins of Nithyananda Gurukul conducted the Akashic readings and read the cosmic archives and conducted third eye demos throughout the day. Annadan free meals were served to anyone who visited the Adhinam, especially those who were having pilgrimage and walking the trail around the sacred hill Arunachala. On the 10th of May 2018, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated delegates into Vishesha Diksha. Additionally, on this day, Uttamottama Seva was offered at Nityanandeshwara Sadashiva Devasthanam to Nityanandeshwara Mahasadashiva Parashiva and Nityanandeshwari Parashakti with various rituals, sevas, enriching activities, and power manifestations, inspiring millions towards the science of enlightenment. And on the 10th of May 2019, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principles of Jiva Samadhi. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism announced the building of the Jiva Samadhi of his Guru, Arunagiri Yogeshwara, which was scheduled to be inaugurated on the 18th of May 2019. He shared that Arunagiri Yogeshwara blessed him to build on the land which was donated by his Purvashram family. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism announced that the Jiva Samadhi was getting built in granite stone on the exact spot Devi Parashakti did her penance, and Paramashiva came in form of a hunter to protect her. The Samadhis of his other gurus had already been built, and he shared that an ancient temple of Vedapurishwarar exists inside the Kailasa property. He also shared that many decades ago, one Siddha Purusha known as Srinivasa Swamigal revealed that in this very place, one of the incarnations will come and settle down. On this day, the traditional Brahmotsavam of Enlightenment Day celebrations were held in Adi Kailasa, with many experiencing this auspicious event across the globe. And on the 10th of May 2020, contributing to over 108 humanitarian causes of Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations. Kailasa's NHU marked that day as Season 4, Day 4 of Paramashivoham. One of the major highlights of Kailasa's contributions through this convention is power manifestation. Today being the power of body scanning, the darshan for today was Vairishwara Bhava Samadhi Darshan. And on the 10th of May 2021, the ambassadors and delegates of the Kailasa nation received the Shaktipada and the Shaktinipada with the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading in Tamil for the whole of humanity. Furthermore, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave his respects and prayers for the Mahasamadhi of His Holiness Pujya Sri Omkarananda Mahaswamiji. And with that, we come to the end of this beautiful segment of the glimpses of the glorious past. And we thank each and every one of you who have joined us in this wonderful event. We will now be receiving the alive darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And I request all the participants to please sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Welcome you all with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Sampurna Purnatva, perpetual completion becomes spontaneous reality